What's going on, Hemp Squad? So doing a video today, go over a little bit on the THCO that has been hitting the market, becoming more and more popular. So a few things I want to point out. First and foremost is, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but this stuff is pretty liquidy. It's not like, try and get it so I can, there we go. But you can see, I mean, it's pretty fluid. The bubble will catch up in a second. It's not like a Delta 8, which is like super thick. This is more thin. I do notice that it does go down quicker than the Delta 8, and I'm guessing that's probably why. Now, as far as the actual high, I'll kind of go over a little bit compared to Delta 8, because I feel like Delta 8 is probably the other more popular cartridges right now. You also have Delta 10, but I don't really see too many Delta 10s being sold. It's mainly THCO and Delta 10, or Delta 8 rather. So got it hooked up on my little toke buddy. Go ahead, take a hit, and we'll go over some of what THCO actually is. Cheers. So the flavor on this one is called ice cream cake, and it does actually have a little bit of kind of like a cake type taste to it. The one that I tried previous was Skywalker OG. That one didn't really have any sort of like real noticeable taste as far as like being fruity or anything. It just tasted good. I don't really know how else to describe it. This actually has, I don't really know if I would say it tastes like ice cream cake. I mean, I don't really follow the flavors too much. I do try the different flavors to see which one I prefer the most. So far, the tangerine on the Delta 8 has been my favorite. It actually tastes like tangerine, and it actually has a pretty good taste to it. So when it comes to the high, THO or THCO compared to Delta 8, THCO is more potent. I do feel like it's a little bit different of a high, but they are very similar. You do get a little bit of a cotton mouth, but it's not like super bad where you're just constantly wanting to drink, at least not in my personal experience. Now this is I believe it was a hybrid. It might have been a indica. I really haven't found that it knocks you on your ass, like just couch locks you or anything like that. But I mean, it does depend on the time of day. Like I had smoked a little bit last night, and I did actually find that it kind of helped me go to sleep quicker. So it kind of depends on the time of day, I think. Could be wrong on that. It's my own, just what I find so far. What you find might be different. Take another hit. Cheers. So the high, it does definitely get you high. THCO compared to Delta 8, Delta 8 is going to be more natural. THCO, there's really nothing natural about this other than it's derived from the hemp plant. This is actually an acetate. This is basically a synthetic THC, which basically just means that it is lab created. It's not something that occurs naturally. A good example would be conventional oil versus synthetic oil. Conventional would be natural, synthetic would be made in a lab. Okay, so if you are wanting to stick with the more natural, this isn't really going to be for you. And the Delta 8 is still good quality stuff. I still have my Delta 8. I'd really just grabbed this, kind of wanted to build a little bit more of a opinion on it before I just stuck with Delta 8. I mean, it is more expensive than Delta 8 and it does go down quicker. So that is definitely a flaw on the THCO. As far as value wise, I think the Delta 8 takes the cake in that term. The actual vape itself, now oddly I do actually prefer the THCO flavors more so far. A lot of the Delta 8 ones that I've tried, and I mean I've tried quite a few different brands and so on and so forth. I mean there's tons of brands out there, but the ones that I've tried so far haven't really been super noticeable as far as the flavor. I mean I've tried blueberry, I've tried watermelon, I've tried tangerine, and a lot of these are also just simply the name of the flower that they come from. Like the Fruity Pebbles is just a strain. Skywalker OG, I'm almost positive, is another strain. Ice Cream Cake, I'm pretty sure, is a strain. So that's actually what the names are kind of more in line with, not so much the flavor. Now, when it comes to terpenes, I mean, terpenes occur in pretty much almost everything, and that's basically what gives the smell and the taste. So if they are going for a particular flavor, they can kind of add different terpenes and such and get different flavors and different odors, so on and so forth. I haven't really found that's the case with these so far, and that's both Delta 8 and THCO. I do personally prefer the Delta 8, mainly because, I mean, this is a little bit stronger, but it's more expensive and it goes down quicker. The Delta 8, it lasts longer, So, I mean, I can smoke almost twice as much and it'll go twice as far than the THCO. For example, I just picked this up yesterday and you can see how far it's gone down already. And I mean, I don't really smoke it like hardcore, every few minutes taking a hit. I'll take maybe 4 hits at the most per session, usually a couple hours before I take another session. So, I mean, really hasn't lasted that long. And it was actually later in the day that I went yesterday too. It wasn't even that early. So it's gone down quite a bit just in that short amount of time. That is something to consider. It does definitely work though. Now, from what I have heard from how THC-O originated and stuff, it's not that kind of potent. It's not no 200 to 300 times more potent than THC9 or Delta 9, whatever. It might be on par. Now, that is actually something, if you are someone who smokes regs, which would be, of course, like your brick weed, usually quite a bit of stems, seeds, that sort of thing, ships in a giant container. That's why it's so compressed. It's usually like a brick type deal. And this is going to be around the same high, I would say, as if you were smoking regs. Maybe if you were also into mids. This, I would say, is in the realm of regs to mids. I wouldn't say it's as potent as if you were to smoke some good ass weed, especially if you were to make concentrates like hash, dabs, that sort of thing from some really good dank ass weed. This isn't going to get you that kind of high, but if you are someone that is generally smoking regs, not the best weed, this is going to get you pretty close to that. and it might actually save you some money as well. Everybody loves saving money. I mean, it doesn't, like I said, give you that real strong cotton mouth. You do get a little bit of cotton mouth, but it's not like super bad. Do get a bit of a body high. It's not super strong on the head high. You do kind of feel like your eyes get kind of glazed over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it tastes good. Price wise, I do wish it was a little bit more affordable, especially considering it goes down much quicker. I can't imagine that there's that much more that goes into it as compared to, say, Delta 8. I mean, Delta 8 is also made with different acids and through rinsing and all this, and it's essentially the same idea as to how they make this. So I don't know if it's just because it's a new thing coming out and it's trending, you know, supply and demand type deal. Very well, of course, could be. So a lot of things are determined on price. But the process itself and everything, I mean, I don't know. If they were at least the same price as Delta 8, not even necessarily cheaper, I would probably pretty much say switch to THCO. But for a higher price and everything, I just don't feel like the value is there. That's just me personally. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good stuff. I definitely recommend at least trying it and build your own opinion on it. Because it is just that, it's my opinion, and it's going to fluctuate person to person. So it really just depends what you're wanting, what you're going for. But anyway, I'm going to end the video. As always, smoke it if you got it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.